Hello and welcome to Two-A-Day on your Packer Link Up. Today is Thursday, August 28th, and you're watching the 5 o'clock edition. Of course, today's big news, the big preseason game against the Titans tonight at 6. Be sure to be watching, but there are some other things going on in the league, not just our team playing. Of course, that's most important. But around the league NFL news, this is big news. Adam the Pac-Man, and I'm going to call him Pac-Man forever because I'm sorry, you can't just decide to be called Adam now. But Pac-Man Jones has been reinstated to the league and is available for the Cowboys for their season opener. So this, to me, is bad news. Pac-Man Jones is a bad guy. I'm sorry. He doesn't belong. He doesn't deserve what he's got. I really don't feel sorry for him for a bit for having to be out for 2 years. He went into the All-Star Wrestling. He'll go wherever the money is. So here he is. But now, this has an effect on Green Bay as we will be meeting the Dallas Cowboys perhaps in the playoffs. I don't believe we play him during the season this year. I didn't check on that, but he is another strong player in the defensive backfield for the Cowboys. And it is going to strengthen their team. As much as I hate to say it, he's going to play, he's going to have an impact. And the Cowboys have made their team better this offseason. I don't know that you can say the same for the Packers. We don't know that yet. It could be that we did, but without a quarterback that's a veteran, we don't know that at all. So Adam Jones reinstated, for better or for worse. The NFL is now back in bed with him. Keys for our finale, keys for the preseason finale. Here's what I am looking for in particular. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Before number one, top priority is to be injury free. We cannot afford another starter to go down under any circumstances. We know we're playing the guys for a short period of time, and so our hope then is that they will come out healthy, have 10 to 12 days before that next game against the Vikings to heal up and get re-energized and rejuvenated. But the key is to be injury-free. So going down from there, I put number one on my list. This is secondary to being injury-free. Injury-free is the umbrella overall right now. But number one, Ryan Grant. I want to see him chew up yards. I want to see him. One thing about, we've talked about how bad our offensive line has looked in this preseason up to this point. But we need to remember this. Oftentimes, we talk about how offensive lines, a great offensive line, makes a average to mediocre running back look better because they're opening holes, etc., etc. But especially in this run zone blocking scheme, a great running back can make our offensive line look better, can help it gel by making quick cuts, being patient at first, but when the decision is made, hitting a hole, because it may be smaller than it needs to be, hitting that hole and chewing up some yards, getting into the secondary. We haven't seen a lot of that in the preseason. We definitely want to see that from Ryan Grant. Regardless of how many plays, we know he's going to be out there. He's going to take some handoffs. We want to see just a little taste of what the Minnesota Vikings are going to have to deal with come opening day. Second, Aaron Rodgers. When he is on passing downs, I want him to be in perfect sync. No drop balls from the receivers, but Aaron Rodgers hitting receivers like he did not in the Cincinnati game. Obviously not in the 49ers game. 49ers game, we're just going to call a mulligan and drop it. Just the top and the bottom scores drop out. That is a zero. It's gone. The Cincinnati game, there was a lot of sort of excitement. It was hype, because Aaron Rodgers was throwing the ball high and away. Receivers were having to go up, expose themselves to big hits. Now, in the Denver game, that was not the case. So we want to see development from there, hitting receivers in stride to where they can break into open field and make big plays, not have to work so hard for that extra yardage, the yards after the catch. Of course, he's not going to have a lot of time to do so. He's not going to have a lot of passes. I think McCarthy's going to be calling a lot of running plays to get Ryan Grant up to speed. But that's my number two initiative. Number three, this is just something to keep an eye on, of course. We're looking to cut down to the 53-man roster, so look for solidifying some spots on a particular the defense at linebacker. What's going to happen with Abdul Hodge? Is he going to step up and end up moving up? Is Desmond Bishop going to stay in his spot? Is Desmond Bishop going to maybe move somewhere? What's going to happen with our linebackers? We've got a deep group there, and what decision then will the Packers make? Excuse me. As far as how many linebackers to keep on the team. I know they've talked about maybe keeping more this time around. So that will be interesting. Also, it's going to be interesting to see at backup running back who kind of falls where in terms of Noah Herron and Craig Lumpkin. Who is going to get the nod for that next spot available after? This is after Ryan Grant, Brandon Jackson, Vernon Morency. But who's going to get the nod? Or are they going to find a way to keep an extra guy? I don't think they are, but we will see. So it's going to be interesting. This game, not so much. We don't want to put any stock in the score. We don't want to put any stock in. It is a possibility we will be soundly defeated because we're playing ones against threes. Their ones against our threes. Don't worry about that. But to see these guys really step up and play is sort of a touchstone for what they will do if they're given a chance during the season. So we like to see these guys really step up and perform when they have some extra time. All right, one last thing. I do want to see Mike McCarthy with Ryan Grant back. And after seeing him as a reliable starting running back, remember when he came into this league and we introduced the zone blocking scheme for the Packers? Well, we're going to do this. We're going to get lighter, quicker offensive linemen, and we're going to run the zone blocking scheme. He has had such a difficulty getting a starter for running back that he has at times relied on the passing game. He could do that with Brett Favre. That is not going to be the case with Aaron Rodgers. He's going to need to go back to his initial philosophy that we run the ball down people's throats. He comes out of a Steeler tradition, hard-nosed football, forcing it down your throat. And with Ryan Grant for his first season, start to finish as our starter, he is going to have to show his stuff. That means Ryan Grant's going to have to run well, but that also means Mike McCarthy is not going to be able to bail on the running game anytime it doesn't look good. Look for Mike McCarthy to get back to his initial philosophy of running the ball. And if he can run the ball, we will loosen defenses up, and our passing attack with Aaron Rodgers will be just fine because he's an adequate quarterback and with room to grow. And there's no ceiling to what Aaron Rodgers can do, but he cannot force it right off the bat. We cannot just be a passing team. We cannot throw the game on Aaron Rodgers' shoulders. We have to have a consistent running. Since Ahman Green, we have not had that. We hope with Ryan Grant that we have that. The Packers have put their stock in him with the big contract signed. But everyone out in Packerland knows this guy only played half a season or a little more. 10 games. Anything can happen. He get hurt. He can prove to be unmotivated after the big contract. He can prove to be just not as good as Brett Favre and the offensive line made him be, or he can step in and make our offensive line better than it is. He can free up our offensive line to be better in pass protection because of the way he runs the ball and protects, but it's all up in the air as of right now. We will get our first taste this preseason game with Ryan Grant taking the field. Now, as far as I know, he is still slated to take the field. We will, of course, it could be a game-time decision, but as far as I know, he's still slated to take the field. I'm excited about that more than anything else about this last preseason game. So, go Ryan Grant. We're all behind you. We need you bad, man. Have a great game, and obviously we want to see him repeat his success against the Adrian Peterson and the Minnesota Vikings, where he one-upped Adrian Peterson, this rookie sensation, and made him look silly. We knocked him out of the game with our defense, and Ryan Grant just ran it down the throats of the Minnesota Vikings. So, hoping to see that. Exciting game tonight. We hope you enjoy it. We will have our 10 o'clock podcast following the game, so we will see you back here at that time. And until that time, as always, go Pats.